All right, bruh. So heartbreak. We know heartbreak to be a very, you know, we can look at heartbreak as something that's very negative and something very painful to go through, and something that we probably don't want to go through. Who wants to go through that, right? But heartbreak is a very not just heartbreak, but just pain in general. It's whether it's just heartbreak from a relationship or just pain from just life. You know, it's a very necessary thing we need in our life in order for us to progress and grow stronger. It's it's just simple basic transmutation. How to transmute negative energy into positive energy. You know what I mean? And the way you could do that is by learning from your pain or learning from your heartbreak. You know, whatever it is you've been through, you know, don't look at it as a failure. Look at it as a lesson. See, life tends to give us challenges and give us, lessons. And these challenges and lessons could come out as heartbreak or pain or whatever, but these lessons are for our better good. These lessons help to make us better and help us to evolve and become stronger mentally, physically, spiritually, in whatever way you need to be or whatever way the universe decides you need to be. You know what I mean? And you should embrace pain. You should embrace anger. You should embrace anxiety. You should embrace all of these things, because when you receive these emotions, these negative emotions or pain or heartbreak and whatever, these just reactions in a way that your body or your soul is telling you that you need to work on whatever it is. You know what I mean? And once you work on these things, only then you'll be able to evolve and become better. Now, specifically in this video, I can talk about heartbreak specifically. Now, everyone wants love. Everyone, nowadays kind of in a way fearful of love because of heartbreak, because they don't want to deal with that heartbreak. You know what I mean? But like I said before, you can't really hide from something like that. That's something like you have to go through in order for you to become better. Like I was saying before, in order for you to evolve. Now, I know I sound like a broken record, but just stay with me. But how do you turn that heartbreak into success? You transmute it. Now, whatever it is you went through in that heartbreak, you relay that in your mind and you say to yourself, okay, what did I learn from that relationship? Or it might not even just be a romantic relationship, it could be platonic relationship or a family relationship. You know what I mean? But it's whatever. But think to yourself, what did I learn from that heartbreak? You know, what did I learn from that relationship? And use that energy that you feel, that negativity. Like I said, you could transmute it. So instead of just sitting at home, just wallowing, crying in the pillow, use that energy. That's very powerful energy, you know. Use that energy and transmute that into something. You could make that energy into a song. That's how you think so much R&B and artists and rappers become so successful and you know become so people gravitate to them so much, like for example like Drake or Juice or you know any rapper or R&B singer that really spits pain in their music. It's because people relate to that. Everybody in the world, maybe not everybody, but a large majority of people could relate to heartbreak. And when these artists, like for example, let's say Drake, when he goes through a heartbreak, instead of him just allowing that negativity, that negative emotions to consume him, he transmute that energy. into positive energy. He puts it into art. He puts it into music. He puts it into a song. So then once that song goes out, many people could relate to the messages he's saying, and more people gravitate to his music, and that's where he gets his success. Now, I guess now y'all see where I going with this. Heartbreak, you could use heartbreak and turn that into art so that people could gravitate to it and people could really feel it. And through that, you could, you know, gain success through that, through your art. Because that's what art is. Art is an expression. Art is pain. Art is happiness. Art is emotion. You know what I mean? People won't relate to your art or whatever it is you want to do. You want to turn your pain into. People won't relate to that if it's just some bullshit. You know what I mean? You got to really put your all into that shit. You get me? So whatever heartbreak it is, you could write a poem. You know, write a poem about that, and that could help someone go through what they're going through. You know what I mean? And not only that, it can help you, even help you through the little, your little heartbreak process, help you to process the emotions you feeling and help you to process all of the things that happen throughout that relationship. You know what I mean? So if you go about life like that, bro, nothing in life could phase you. You know what I mean? So even the bad things work out for your good. You know what I mean? Say for example, you know, bro, it could literally be anything, bro. Any bad thing that happens in your life, bro, you could transmute that and turn it into good. And once you transmute that negative energy into good energy, you could then use that positive energy for your success. Like I explained before. You understand? So, a way in which this helped me, you know, throughout my life, when I go through heartbreak, I would, like I said, instead of just wallowing and just being in my fucking room, just crying, oh, listening to fucking sad music, I would analyze the feelings and the emotions I feeling in that moment, and I would write it down in a poem, exactly how I feel. And another thing, bro, heartbreak could be the one thing that actually opens you up to knowing who you truly are. You never know who you truly are until you go through something like that, go through pain. You know what I mean? Pain could help open your eyes to the true talents that you have within yourself. You probably never knew you were a good artist until you try to transmute that pain, and then you find out that, wow, like I actually, good at music, or I good at writing poems, or I good at, painting, or whatever it be. You know what I mean? So everything everything in this world, it works out for your better, but you have to allow it though. You have to accept it. You can't just hold on to that pain and just try to just move on with life, because it ain't gonna work like that, bro. You have to accept that pain, and turn it into your better good. Transmute that pain into your better good. You understand? And you will find success with that. You understand? You will find success with that. You feel me? So yeah, bro. I hope that makes sense, bro. I hope that really help y'all really understand, y'all emotions better, and help y'all better navigate through y'all emotions and just navigate through life. You know what I mean? Like, the shit really simple, but it's easy for me to say because I've been through it so much. But it's really simple once you just sit down and just connect with yourself. You know what I mean? Connect with yourself. You know what I mean? Like, bro, like whatever it is you're going through, bro, like you ain't the only person who going through it, bro. Like, there's a lot of people in this world who going through this shit. You understand? Even I've been through this shit. You understand? And everything I've been through helped me to reach where I'm at today. You feel me? And bro, you can push through that shit, bro. You can push through that shit. Yeah, I know that shit kind of hard. That shit kind of hurt sometimes, but you can't let that shit phase you, bro. You just gotta get up, bro. Like life moves on, bro. Life moves on. You gotta realize, bro, like this shit happens for your better good. You know what I mean? So yeah, bro. That's all I really had to say with that shit, bro. Whoever that shit need to find, whoever that shit relate to, bro, they can find you, bro. So yeah, bro.